Good afternoon and welcome to the 2005 National Hockey League entry draft. The NHL is honored to be hosting this year's event in Ottawa, and we're very excited to be returning to Ottawa, hockey country, for the entry draft in 2008. Welcome in particular to our fans watching across Canada on TSN, RDS, and on the NHL Network, and on networks throughout the United States and at draft parties in our many NHL cities. I congratulate the young men for whom this is such a special and important day. I send congratulations to their families as well. I know they want to get started. I know that the scouts who have worked so hard all year want to get started. I know the Pittsburgh Penguins certainly want to get started. So let's get started. It feels good to finally be able to say the first selection in the 2005 NHL entry draft belongs to the Pittsburgh Penguins.
On the left is Craig Patrick, the general manager, who still got the lucky four-leaf clover in his pocket that he had at the draft lottery last week. And then, of course, is Mario Lemieux.
Thank you, Gary. It's a thrill for the Pittsburgh Penguins to be standing here in this position today. It's a very, very, very lucky day for our organization, our city, and our fans worldwide. On behalf of Mario Lemieux and the entire ownership group, Pittsburgh Penguins select from Rimouski in the Quebec Major Junior League, Sidney Crosby.
How's his dad, Troy, who was a draft pick himself of the Montreal Canadiens. And there's his mom, Trina. So Sidney Crosby, the two-time Canadian Hockey League Player of the Year, is the first overall pick and is on his way to the NHL.
Well, he just knows how to make so many good, strong plays, Gord. He makes the players around him better. But his ability to beat players one-on-one is exceptional. He reminds you a lot of Mario Lemieux. The thing that makes Sidney Crosby a little bit different from other young players, he knows how to be a pure finisher. He knows how to find dead spots in coverage, and the biggest thing for me is his lower body strength. Outstanding.
Great acceleration. He has enormous quads, and he's got a real strong lower unit. It's explosive out of the corner. And the biggest thing is he likes to play the game hard. He plays his best hockey when he's in traffic. He's great off the rush, and he can make things happen with dynamic speed. But in the heavy going in front of the net and down low in the corner, he excels. And even though he's not a big guy, he's extremely tenacious, and that's going to be something the Pittsburgh Penguins really welcome. Pittsburgh Penguins, by the way, now the challenge is to surround him with lots of good players. There seems to be some indication that they will actually spend some money. Mario Lemieux alluded to that. Yep. I think their payroll is going to be in excess of $31 or $32 million, which is a lot for that market.
I totally concur. Now, remember this about when the lottery last Friday, Sidney Crosby was announced going to the Pittsburgh Penguins. They had to keep their marketing staff overnight at the Marriott Hotel. The phone started ringing at 4:30 for season tickets, and I've talked to the management people there. They still haven't been able to tabulate how many season ticket packages they've sold because it's been so large.
It's estimated to be more than 3,000 deposits that they've taken on season tickets for the coming year.
To give you an indication of the kind of impact, when the draft lottery was being shown, they went to commercial when Anaheim and Pittsburgh were still in it. The Anaheim Mighty Ducks got a phone call from a corporate guy who said he was prepared to buy 50 club seats right on the phone, right at that moment, if the Anaheim Mighty Ducks won the lottery. He says, put me on hold because I want to be the first guy that's going to be able to make that. 50 club seats he was going to buy just at the drop of a hat. But in that case, they didn't get it. Pittsburgh did, and now Sidney Crosby's with our James Duffy.
All right, thank you very much. Sidney, I know throughout your life you've probably envisioned this moment about 10,000 times. Now that it's finally here and you have the jersey on, did it live up to those expectations?
This is amazing, and I'm just really relieved. It's unbelievable. I'm so happy right now, and it's a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifices, not from myself, but my family as well.
With that jersey comes a heavy burden of expectations. Here you are, still 17 years old, and they're hailing you as the savior of the franchise. How do you deal with those expectations?
I'm not really thinking about it right now. I want to come and play in the NHL next year. That's my goal. That's my focus right now. So I'm going to put everything into that and try to move on from there.
Well, congratulations. The jersey looks good on you.
Okay, thank you.
Sidney Crosby, the first overall pick in the NHL draft, as expected. Up to Gordon.
Yeah, not often that when you go up to the podium at the draft that you stand there with a guy who might be your line mate. Pittsburgh owner Mario Lemieux, who will likely get some time, at least on the power play with Sidney Crosby in the early going. So a fascinating dynamic between those two guys.
Well, you know what? You see Sidney talking right now. He's starting to really mimic Mario Lemieux. His body positioning, the way he composed. He's so composed in front of the camera, the way he speaks. But the big thing for me is not just having Mario Lemieux there. It's having Mark Recchi there as well. That's going to really make a seamless transition. You think about Simon Gagne and the influence Mark Recchi had on him in Philadelphia. It'd be the very same thing for Sid.
Let's go back to James Duthie with Mario Lemieux.
Thank you. This must be a somewhat surreal day. 21 years ago, you went through the exact same thing. The expectations on this guy are huge. What do you expect from him?
Well, we expect a lot, obviously, but we know it's going to be an adjustment period for a young kid coming out of juniors. He's just, only 18 years old. This is going to be a huge step for him. The speed of the game is a lot faster than what he's used to. The players are a lot bigger and stronger, so that's the biggest adjustment that he's going to have to make. But he's got all the tools to be a great one. So, but we're going to have to be patient, obviously, and give him some support, which we intend to do.
What adjustments are you making because of this? Will this extend your career? Do you intend to play longer, and how much longer?
Yeah, I'd love to play, a couple more years, as long as I'm going to be healthy and play at a high level. I'd love to play, especially with Sidney now and some of the great players that we're going to bring in. We're going to be very active in the free agent market, and hopefully put a great team together to take a run at the Stanley Cup.
A couple more. Can you give me a number? 2, 3, 4 years?
At least 2, maybe 3.
The Anaheim Mighty Ducks are very